Good morning, my neighbors. That was a new introduction, right? Introduction, greeting, whatever. How is everybody? Yeah, me too. Not really. Um, Long night. Not too bad. Nothing really exciting. I mean, everything kind of got done on time. There wasn't a ton of work. Little frustrations here and there, but nothing too significant. The important thing, I think, is that at the end of the shift, I got a phone call from, well, I guess I could say my boss. He's he's an operations manager. I guess he's not directly my supervisor, but probably the boss of my boss. And I don't know, his interaction with me this morning was a little strange, I guess, to say the least. Just kind of grilling me a little bit about the tasks that I perform at night. I would have guessed that he would have been aware of everything that needed to be done without having to ask me, since he would be the person kind of responsible for the workflow of the department. But he's new to the job. Maybe he isn't aware of every detail and task and duty that's involved. But yeah, it kind of came into question, I guess, the amount of time that I spend on the other side of the floor. I mean, obviously, we work in a pharmacy, so I mean, we take orders. We process them, key them, review them, get them paid, package them up, ship them out, and get them to the customer. So there's quite a few steps that's involved in that process, and overnight it's possible that we have to be involved in every single one of them. It's a very light staff. Sometimes there's just me in the building, or me and maybe one other line tech, that would be working on the other side of the floor. But yeah, I it's fortunate that I'm versatile in that I've worked every job there is in a pharmacy over the past couple of decades. But it was just a very strange conversation that I had this morning, because the kind of questions I was getting seemed like they should have probably come more directly from my immediate supervisor, who she's supervising us technicians, and maybe it was just a general inquiry. Maybe he was just wanted my perspective of the duties that were performed overnight. Although he was kind of direct about, he wasn't confident in the priorities or the directive, of what needed to be done at what time and what took precedence, and in what priority things should be attacked, I guess, as far as work. He seemed very, I guess, narrow-sighted in the fact that keying orders was more important than getting the prior run's delivery out the door. This is just my interpretation of what was said. And we're going into detail about what types of orders are going out the door. When I'm telling him that there are new admissions and controls that make up the majority of the sweeper run, I think he was suggesting that the morning run, the orders that were on the morning run needed to be keyed before the sweeper run got out the door, because they were just as important. Now, from my perspective, that's not accurate. I would think that you do one delivery run at a time and get it out the door, and you don't have enough people to get it done, and it's going to be 4 hours late. Well, that's very poor customer service. That reflects on everybody inside the company, not just the people that are working on the other side of the floor. That causes a lot more work, phone calls and I don't really have to go into detail. I mean, there is a lot of problems associated with making deliveries very late. And the sheer fact that the morning run winds up being more Kumanen orders and orders that have not been flagged as priority. I mean, anything that's not in an emergency kit isn't flagged. So that's kind of what's left over, which typically goes out on the morning run, at least from my perspective. I mean, sometimes things are backed up and, some things are more important to get on the run, but I don't really have a percentage of what those are. And, the important things that the nursing home doesn't have typically makes it on the sweeper run. So I just don't see anything more important like getting orders keyed to the AM run as opposed to that sweeper run that leaves overnight. So it's just a very strange conversation that I had this morning, and I'm still kind of complexed by it. But who knows? Things just are as they are, and it's not for me to question. It's a little above my pay grade. But if anybody asks me, I'm glad to tell them that, when I go and work in other departments, I'm not using my own discretion. I'm going by the authority of the person that I believe has the authority in the pharmacy at that particular shift. So anyway, regardless, I mean, it seems like that there's a lot of pressure on a lot of workers, a lot of my fellow coworkers, to stay in their seats and just work. And I think it's kind of cultivating an environment that's not friendly, that's not harmonious. And that's disturbing because it's going to keep our revolving door turning. I mean, it's one thing to want to get more productivity out of people, but to go about it in a way that you want somebody to keep their heads down and stay planted in their seats without any kind of socializing whatsoever, I guarantee you it's the wrong approach to be able to get people to work harder. Guarantee it. There's studies and books. I can bring them in. So anyway, I wish last night was my final shift, as I am home now. I got to go back tonight. Yeah, I told him I'd give him 4 more hours, which I probably shouldn't have done because I actually have to go to New Hampshire Magazine now. I just got home from work and decided to make this now because usually I make it after I get back from New Hampshire Magazine. But I figured I might be dead tired by that time. So yeah, I'm going to have to go to New Hampshire Magazine now, put in some time, work on the projects that I have due this weekend, and then get some sleep and then go back to work. But, for however long a time. Anyway, not looking forward to this, but anyway, we'll get through it. Saturday will be more fun. I'm sure of that. So there was a dream that I had last night before I got up for work. Really strange. It was like all I remember about it was like electronics all over the place, and I was working with electronics, and I don't know. I can't remember any details. I remembered vividly when I got up, and it kind of just like fades away after a little while. But what really made me think is like, all these weird, wouldn't it be great to be able to control your dreams? I haven't had a good sex dream in a long time, and those are good dreams. You know what I mean? Like you don't even want to get up. I would dream forever if I could keep having those dreams. But you can't. I wish there was a way to activate that or stimulate that, because that would be freaking fantastic. But no, I got a dream about electronics things. And last week I was Luke Skywalker. And the week before that, I had the assistant general manager come into my house. Come on, man. What is this? I don't know. All right. Enough of the dreams. How about bad commercials? I saw a commercial yesterday, and I don't know if anybody's seen this one or not, but this like really attractive girl, a commercial with an attractive girl in it. Imagine that. So she's parked and there's a long line of traffic, and she gets out, takes her shoes off, and starts running on all over the cars to get to this truck. And the truck says Magnum on it, and I'm like, Magnum? Isn't that a condom? But I guess it wasn't. I think it was some kind of beverage. A little disappointing. Fun to watch for a little while to the ending. Didn't care for the ending. At work, we were talking about some other commercials. I mean, like, one of the things that came up was we were talking about. I asked somebody. This occurred to me because this is some factoid I have. I don't know why, but if anybody's ever heard the expression "mum's the word," that comes from a commercial, and the very first body deodorant that ever came to the market was Mum's. That was the brand name, and their slogan was "Mum's the word" because it was secret and private. Nobody had to know that you were wearing deodorant. Imagine that. Yeah, that's something. So anyway, one of my coworkers was a little concerned. She thought that I might have been mentioning that I wasn't going to make any more of these videos. Well, don't you worry. I'm going to keep on making them. As long as I can stay awake for my drive home and not crash and die, I'm going to make a video. And if I could make one from beyond, I would do it. Just as Harry Houdini said that he would try to get in touch with his wife if he could from the other side. Well, I don't think that's worked out. Excuse me. Oh yeah, and my coworkers talk a lot about their children and stuff like that, and I got nothing against kids. I like kids, and I mean, I even made my house child-proof, but somehow they keep getting in. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's kind of a joke. Just a joke. Speaking of jokes, well, the big lottery drawing is tonight. That one, that's the Mega Millions. $500 million, $500 million. Imagine that. That'd be something. Reminds me of a story of this guy I know who actually won a lottery. He came home and told his wife, he said, we won the lottery. He goes, pack your bags. She goes, well, what should I pack them for? Should I pack them for the mountains we going skiing, or we pack them for the islands, for the beaches? And he goes, I don't care. Just pack your bags and get out. I won the lottery. Just pack your bags. I still can't tell jokes very well. I got to work on it. You know what? Maybe I should think about them a little bit more before I just kind of like blurt them out. Maybe that will help. Just pack your bags. Whatever. Anyway, this video is going to be long, isn't it? Yeah, I can already tell. I should really wrap it up, because it's just getting too long. I don't know. Yeah. Talked about the commercial. I saw the commercial again for 5 Hour Energy, and I'm going to make my own commercial that says, when, what was it? When do you take a 5 Hour Energy? I'm going to put some scenarios that I think would be more funny to have a lot of energy during. Get some ideas. I'm going to make one. It'll be fun. So anyway, I heard this on television last night too. I think it was like one of the television shows that I was watching. And the guys were like kind of competing against each other, and they would say something like, you're going down. And when two guys are talking about that, I'm not particularly, I shouldn't really be thinking it, but that's kind of just doesn't make me want to watch that, Now, I know, there's a lot of you that probably think, hey, that's okay. But for me, now I can't, I couldn't say it anymore now. Like if I'm competing against somebody and I want to smack talk them, I'm not going to say like you're going down anymore because it sounds weird in my head. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, this video is much longer than I wanted it to be. I got to go over to New Hampshire Magazine, get some sleep and go to work. Get up, do some more work, and head to Boston. Sunday I'm taking headshots. And maybe other things. Who knows? But for now, for today, I hope that everyone gets a chance to enjoy this weekend. Yes, I do. And that's all from this part of the world. Michael Scott Catridge saying good night.